Hello. If you're like me, at SCA events, I tend to have my hands full. I've got my embroidery basket, and my parasol, and a chair, and also a drink. It's not really period looking, is it? Actually, it kind of stands out from everything else. I could always carry a mug, but as you can see, I've got my hands full, and good chance I may spill my drink. What can I do? I could always continue to carry around my drink, but I guess I want something a little less conspicuous. I know. I can create a sleeve for my drink. Let me show you how. For this project, I'm going to show you how to make a sleeve for a typical soda bottle. Think of it as a very long, thin, simple pouch. And as you can see, my Mountain Dew bottle fit in this. For this project, I usually like to use whatever scrap fabric I have lying around. For today's project, I'm going to use a scrap fabric that I was actually playing with earlier on my embroidery machine, as you can see. So, for this project, you'll want a piece of fabric that is, as you can see, roughly about 5 inches in width. And then you'll be folding it over here at the bottom, and you want to allow seam allowance up at the top. But as you can see, this measures 9.5. So 9.5, that would be roughly, well, 9.5 is 19 inches plus seam allowance. So you'll want at least 20 inches long. So I want my bag to be 5 inches wide and 21 inches long. As you can see here, my pattern is about 3 inches wide. So I'm going to move my ruler over, and I'm going to cut 1 inch from that side and 1 inch from the end of the pattern on this side. I'll go ahead and mark my spots. Now, if you have embroidery on your fabric, you'll want it roughly about 5 to 5.5 inches down. However, since I did this as scrap fabric first, as you can see, I've only got 4 inches, so my pattern will be higher up on the bag. On this bag, my pattern will be more up here rather than centered. That just depends on where you want your pattern if you embroider it. And I want it 21 inches long, so that's 12. And here's at 21 inches. And now from here, I'm just going to measure out 5 inches going down until I get to the other end. And now, as you can see, I've got my pins lining where I want to cut. It does help if you iron this, or at least put the fabric in the dryer to get out the wrinkles. As you can see, I might have difficulty when I cut over here. Another option to make sure one side or one half is the same as the other, when you cut, you can always fold your fabric in half, and then the underside will match the top side as far as your cutting. Now it's time to cut. Now at the moment, I don't have fabric chalk available, which is why I'm using the pins as guidelines for where I want to cut. It's not perfect, but it helps in a pinch. Now that I've got my fabric cut out, I'm going to flip it to the underneath side. And then I'm going to fold over the end and then fold it over again. This will be where the drawstring goes at the top. And for this, I've made mine on my other bag about 3/4 of an inch. So now I'm just folding and then folding it again. You want to make sure you fold it twice over. That way it does not unravel on you. That's 1 inch. Okay. And as you can see, I'm keeping the tail end folded under and then measuring to make sure that I'm at 3/4 of an inch all the way through. And time for the other side. Now that both ends have been pinned, let's go sew. And now that the ends have been sewn, it's now time to sew up the sides. So you'll want to make sure that the top ends come together. And with the sides, I'm going to pin all along here, but I'm going to leave the top part open. That way the drawstring can feed through once we're done. And now that the sides are pinned, let's go sew again. And now we're done with the sewing. And it's time to get a drawstring. For this project, I usually like to use ribbon that matches my fabric. However, at the moment, I just have white ribbon. So that's what we'll use. And you'll want to make sure that you've got at least twice the amount of ribbon. So as you can see, this is 1, that's 2. Now you need extra ribbon for being able to tie a bow or not. So I'll just do 3, 4, that should be more than plenty. Cut off the end. Now, one thing you want to do to make sure that the ribbon does not unravel is if you light the end, it melts, and now the ends will not burn, or sorry, they will not unravel. And then to feed the ribbon through the fabric, I'll use a pin like that. And then that helps me feel it through the fabric to pull it through. As you can see, I'm gathering the fabric around the pin, and then the safety pin pulls through. And then do it to the other side. And now that we're done with that, pull it right side out and fluff out the corners. And then it's time to try out your bottle. Ta-da! Sorry about that. As you can see, it's a little less conspicuous, and I can toss in my basket, and my hands are free. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. Have a great day.